Now we are considering continental drift. Introduction. The motions of tectonic plates can be tracked back through time by examining the magnetic signatures of rock samples. The differences between the orientation of Earth's magnetic field recorded in the rocks of a particular age and today's magnetic field are used to reconstruct the locations of the continents at that time. The simple maps which results show the outlines of today's continents and continental shelves, but do not allow variation for sea level, so they are just an approximation of the Earth's past geography. Plate motions 500 million years ago, Cambrian period. The Cambrian period is the earliest time which we can plot recognizable parts of today's continents. Most of the land lies in tropical latitudes, although the large continents of Gondwana land comprising Africa, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and India. This is almost the South Pole. In the west lies lies the continent of Laurasia, consisting today's North America, and in between Baltica, today's Northern Europe, and the North Pole is covered by deep ocean. The Cambrian was originally defined as the time of the earliest recognizable fossils, marine invertebrates, although we now have evidence of life on Earth as early as 3000 million years ago. $400 million years ago, Silurian period. The Gondwana land has moved south across the South Pole, resulting in the accumulation of Earth's first recap over what will become North Africa and parts of South America. The Iapetus Ocean, which had separated Laurasia from Baltica, has closed, giving rise to the Caledonian mountain chains of North America, and Northwest Europe. Laurasia and Baltica are separated from the Gondwana land by narrow Tethys Sea. Silurian period sees the first vertebrates, fish widespread throughout the world oceans, the first corals in shallow tropical areas, and the first plants on the land surface. 300 million years ago, Carboniferous period. The western end of the Tethys Sea was enclosed and joining Laurasia and the Baltica to Gondwana land, forming a supercontinent of Pangaea. The Appalachian Mountains results from the continental collision. Present-day Siberia and Kazakhstan form a smaller continent. The Angara land in the north. Today's Antarctica has reached The South Pole and the large southern ice cap extend to cover parts of Argentina, South Central Africa, India, and Australia. Warm climate encourages the growth of dense and coastal swamp forest in equatorial and southern temperature regions, providing an environment in which insects and amphibians thrive. Large deposits of coal are laid down as sea levels fluctuate, burying forest materials under successive layers of sediments. Mass extinction of marine species occurs at the end of the Permian period, about 250 million years ago, possibly caused by an ocean current shift after the collision of Laurasia and Gondwana. 200 million years ago, early Jurassic period. The Pangea has drifted north with Angala land in collision with Baltica, forming Ural Mountains. The Tethys Ocean has started to lose its identity, with parts of Eastern Asia moving north away from the Gondwana towards the northern landmass of Eurasia. Reptiles are dominant animal group on land, sea, and even in air, with dinosaur species reaching their maximum size and found throughout the supercontinent of Pangaea. First small mammals appear around 220 million years ago, evolved from the warm-blooded reptiles. $150 million years ago, late Jurassic period, the Pangea started to break up, with the North Atlantic opening between North America and Africa, and in the south the rift opening between Africa, India, and Antarctica. The northern landmass of Laurasia accumulate several fragments in the east which will form Asia. The late Jurassic sees the first birds thought to have evolved from dinosaurs. The organic remains of marine organisms in shallow equatorial seas start to form deposits of oil. Largest concentrations are formed at this time over the Arabian Plate. $100 million years ago, Cretaceous period. The South Atlantic and Southern Ocean now separate South America, Africa, India, and Antarctica. The subduction zone will soon develop under the western shore of South America, giving rise to the Andes Mountains. Antarctica is back at the pole, but warm ocean currents keep it ice-free as the continent break up, blocking migration, and land animal species become isolated and develop unique local characteristics. The first flowering plants appear and rapidly spread to dominate the landscape worldwide, and end of the Cretaceous period is marked by the mass extinction event 65 million years ago, which wiped out the two-thirds of the planet's animal species, including dinosaurs. The sudden climate change is likely culprit, possibly resulting from the large asteroid impact or immense eruption of flood basalts. 50 million years ago, Tertiary period. This is Cretaceous period. period. The North Atlantic continues to open separately separating North America from Europe. Western North America is uplifted, forming a rocky mountain. The Tethys Sea is disappearing as the Africa and India approaching Eurasia. India's progress to northward is particularly rapid, and the resulting collision will produce the Tibetan Plateau and Himalayas, today's highest mountain range. Breaking up of Pangaea is completed as Australia and South America separate from Antarctica. The first grasses emerge and spread to cover the large areas of the land surface. Mammals and birds flourished. Early horse, elephant, bears appear, and the first apes emerge in 35 million years ago. Today, the North Atlantic and South and new island of Iceland is visible. The tip of the mid-Atlantic ridge, where the Europe and North America continue to move apart at the rate of 3 centimeters per year. The new ocean rift is opening in the Red Sea between Africa and Arabia. This one's not part of the Great East African Rift Valley. The Alps, Pyrenees, and Caucasus Mountains show where the Africa has collided Eurasia. 3 million years ago, South America had moved far enough away from Antarctica to allow southern ocean currents to isolate the South Pole from equatorial heat, leading to the today's southern ice cap. This has led to dramatic cooling of the global climate, which the Arctic Ocean now covered by the sea ice, and the periodic advances of continental ice caps we called ice ages. The last ice age peaking 1800 years ago, providing the land bridge which enabled modern humans to migrate from Africa, Eurasia to Americas.